Luffy vs Kizaru has finally reached its climax, and since the fight is seemingly finished, I thought it would be cool to analyze the fight and break down who was the stronger individual, along with answering questions like if Kizaru can beat Kaido, or if he's stronger than I give him credit for, etc. And so, Luffy vs Kizaru, who was stronger? We about to find out. Let's go! Now the fight begins with Kizaru blocking a kick from Luffy with basic haki, who would then need Snakeman to try and tag Kizaru. We see blows go off indicating they're somewhat going back and forth, with Kizaru acknowledging Luffy's strength and how he can beat someone strong like Kaido. Now I've seen people take this statement at the absolute most face value way, which basically means Snakeman now would beat Kaido, but Kizaru doesn't even know how strong bro is, and is probably just complimenting Luffy and acknowledging him as strong. So at least for now, it's not a complete low diff at the moment for either side. Luffy then gets overwhelmed by Kizaru's speed and gets kicked away into Vegapunk's barrier, and we then see Kizaru try and carry out his mission before suddenly being grabbed by Gear 5 Luffy, and we see Kizaru sweating, along with it being revealed that Luffy almost died surviving Vegapunk's barrier. Kizaru would be sent flying by Luffy, however he would recover quickly before then shooting lasers and forming light clones to distract Luffy. We see Luffy evading them, though even just a slight cut can cause Luffy to bleed. However, Luffy manages to line up all the Kizaru clones before then eliminating them all in one attack. And a little side note, this is probably my favorite part of the fight. I mean, this pen, I don't know what it is, this panel just gets me. It's then revealed that none of the clones were Kizaru, as he's not trying to fight Luffy, but rather kill Vegapunk right now. As he's about to kill bro, Luffy intercepts and seemingly eats the laser, and I don't mean this in a tanking sense, I mean literally eating Kizaru's laser, and we would just see these two going back and forth again. It's similar to the Snakeman panel earlier with Kizaru probably parrying blows as he's trying to kill Vegapunk. We then see him calling Luffy troublesome before leaving to then again try and kill Vegapunk, who Luffy stops again. Kizaru, seeing Luffy trying to stop him, then attempts to eliminate Luffy with a laser that spins Luffy, causing him to accelerate and then allowing him to then hit Kizaru through the head with a White Star gun. A move that looks like it's using advanced conquerors. Throughout the entire fight, Luffy has not used anything, and like the closest thing we've got regarded to haki is with base Luffy kicking Kizaru, but that's more so an armament clash rather than advanced conquerors. I think based on the shockwave illustration of the panel, it looks to be advanced conquerors. That's just my opinion. Anyways, Kizaru then says this is bad before Luffy runs out of Gear 5 finally, and Kizaru is sent flying into a building. And that pretty much concludes Luffy versus Kizaru. Now, before we talk about who was stronger, let's address a few things for context of both characters and where they are in Egghead. Regardless of the interpretation of said feats, Kizaru by this point isn't trying to cause havoc or even fight the others, mainly wanting to eliminate Vegapunk. However, I don't think this means Kizaru is holding back to such a crazy degree, because if need be, he's gonna have to remove the person trying to intercept said goal. But I think him literally just not trying to fight Luffy indicates that he's not going all out here. So it is something to acknowledge when talking about the fight on Egghead. Meanwhile, Luffy before this used Gear 5 and 4, which we know take a toll on his body, fought Lucci and the Seraphim, and after getting kicked by Kizaru is revealed to have tanked Vegapunk's barrier, which he almost died from in his own words. Even if you wanted to say that the barrier did not fatigue him, which is disingenuous because it literally almost killed him, Luffy at the very least is not at his peak here due to already prior using Gear 4 and 5. With these factors in mind, we can now talk about who had the advantage in the fight, and I think due to the circumstances, especially with Kizaru running away as he's not trying to fight Luffy, it's clear to me that Luffy had the advantage in this fight, with him countering Kizaru's clones, eating a laser directly, and surviving direct attacks from him. And the main thing that kind of tuckered him out was his Gear 5 limit, more so than Kizaru actually pressing him. Based on what it looks like, Luffy used advanced conquerors only once this whole fight, which isn't a bad thing, but it does at least mean Kaido should still be above Kizaru, given the fact that he can blitz and overwhelm this same Luffy. But the only difference is that for one, Kaido wasn't at his peak when he did this, and two, Luffy was just having an advanced conqueror's aura flexing around his body. Like, for the Egghead fight, it's really hard to say he was utilizing everything in his power to fight Kizaru, especially when given the things that we've seen in the end of Wano. But I do believe from this fight, we can at least say Kizaru is stronger than base Kaido and could probably body Big Mom. However, I do believe Luffy was the superior one in this encounter, but I don't think it was a stomp, and both characters were definitely not at their peak, so this isn't going to define their scaling for sure. A lot more can definitely happen. Oda is very unpredictable, but from what we know right now, Kizaru probably doesn't beat Kaido, at best beats Big Mom, and Luffy is probably above him. Unless Kizaru just comes back next chapter unscathed, then you know what, I'll make a video saying Tyler was wrong about Luffy vs Kizaru, or I'll call it Luffy vs Kizaru wasn't close. I don't know, I'll say something stupid. But for now, I will say that the winner of this fight is Luffy.